Hi, everybody. This is Shelly at EDFIN College Prep College Planning, and I'm coming to you. This is a two-part of a three-part series of preparing for Ivy League interviews. So the first part is already done. This is the second part, and I prepared several questions here for students to prepare for Ivy League interviews, which are going to be happening very quickly here. So I went over last time, just a recap, on your Ivy League college admissions interview and how to prepare and what to expect, right? I went over in the previous video, you'll want to watch that, is that the interviews are anywhere from 35 to 40 minutes or 30 to 45 minutes. And just try to stay connected in the conversation. But here are some of the questions I covered in the last YouTube video. Part one is, so what are you, the committee will want to know, so what are you interested in studying in college? And that was in the last interview. What high school accomplishments are you most proud of? That was in the last video as well. Tell me about your family background. Where did you grow up? That was in the last video as well. And this is the next question that I'm going to continue with and on this part two series of Ivy League interviews. The next question they will ask you is, what is an example of something difficult that you've had to go through or an important event perhaps that took place in your life in the last few years? Well, especially in today's time here, we just passed 2020 going into 2021. That is an easy question to answer. What is an example of something difficult you had to go through or an important event perhaps that took place in your life in the last few years? More currently, of course, is COVID, the pandemic, online classes. I would focus on how you Ivy League students, how you conquered that. Some students conquered that through very easily. They, maintained their 4.7 GPA, and they took their extra time and they volunteered and provided mentoring coaching to other freshmen or sophomore or junior students. So that is a very important question. It basically tells the committee members something on as far as when something difficult affects your life. It tells them how you deal with it. Do you get stressed out? Do you have anxieties? Do you approach it an emotional standpoint? Do you approach it from a realistic, rational standpoint? Are you a logical thinker? Now, there's no right or wrong answer to any of these questions. However, it does tell the committee members a lot about you, okay? How you handle certain situations and how you change in diversity and through conflict, and when crisis happens, like how do you change accordingly? How do you handle those hardships? Okay, so next thing is basically they want to know who you are, what you value, what stands out in your mind. They're just trying to understand who you are as a person. Okay, now don't be afraid to show them who you are as a thinker and as a person. They want to know who they are going to be accepting on their campus. Very important. Who you are. The fastest thing to get you dinged on, like it says here in all your questions, again, is a weak one-word response. Like I mentioned in the first part video, no one-word response. Think it through, like be quick on your feet at the same time. You want to be authentic in your answers and just think outside the box, okay? You're phenomenal students, anywhere from 3.8, this video is for 4.7 or even 5.0. These are our valedictorians, the salutatorians. Think fast on your feet. There's no right or wrong answer, but let me tell you, it tells them a lot about who you are and how you handle diversity. Now, next one, question 5. Why Harvard? They're going to ask you, why have you chosen Harvard, for example, or Princeton? Why Columbia or why Berkeley? Why Yale, why MIT, etc., or Carnegie Mellon? Most likely you will already have wrote your admissions essay covering this question, which is true. All of you have done that. So I strongly recommend each and every one of you to review your essays to be prepped for how you answer this question initially and expand off of it. For example, why Harvard? University of Pennsylvania, Columbia, Brown, Duke, UCLA, MIT, or NYU, just to name a few, should focus on what particular school program, core curriculum, professors, classes, extracurricular that are specific to your interests. This sets you apart too, okay? This tells the committee members who you are, what your interests are. Like if you're a physics major, you're going to focus on your strengths in physics. If you're aerospace engineering, your focus is going to be more on a logical standpoint. It would be more artistic. If you're a film major, like for UCLA, of course, you're going to focus more on the art side than you would, let's say, the logical side. Not to say that you shouldn't add that in there, because you should. So just focus on who you are, like it says here, your program, core curriculum, your professors, where you excelled, where you reached out for help, classes, where you, did you volunteer and help others, where you excelled in your classes, where you made a difference. Now, the focus should be on academic at the core, of course, but don't be afraid to let your personality, this is a big one, and true interest in a school's outside extracurricular activity also shine through. Now, this is a little difficult because this last year with the pandemic, with COVID, there wasn't a whole lot of extracurricular activity going on. However, previous to that, let's say middle school or 9th, 10th, 11th grade, you did have extracurricular activities going on, or maybe currently this 2021. So focus on those areas. And like I said, there's no right or wrong answer. Just shine, just be passionate in your response. Be passionate and just really just give them what you got. Okay, give them what you got. And so the next thing is, the next thing they're going to know in your admissions interview, they want it to become a conversational setting. They want it to be interesting, educational, and engaging. In other words, it says here, just try to have a very real and connected conversation with them, okay? So it's almost kind of like if you had a best friend or someone who you highly respect, an aunt or uncle, whoever that may be, that you're going to, have that intellectual conversation, and you're going to be real with them and just engage and just have fun with it. Remember, it's 30 to 45 minutes, okay? So just have fun with it. The next part that I'm going to go over with you all is the hardest, and this is the next one, this is part 3. So this is the third part, it's 3 parts, that the hardest admissions interview questions. What I just went over are just the standard interview questions that everybody gets. This next one is the hardest questions that will stress you out, will cause you to think really fast on your feet, not like the other questions I went through in this video, in the last part 1 video, but this is the unexpected twist, okay? I'm gonna go on frequently asked very difficult questions on part 3. Why are you interested in their school? They're gonna ask you. What do you plan to contribute to their campus? They're going to ask you, what should we accept? Why should we accept you over other students? This is a big one. What is your greatest weakness? What other schools are you applying to? And the other thing is they're going to ask you is, do you have any questions for the interviewer? Okay, so prepare for that. And then we're going to go through final thoughts, okay? And just, I want you to really think about this and prepare this ahead of time. If you have any questions, please make a comment here on YouTube, what questions you have, what concerns you have, and I will be more than happy to answer each and every one of them. Just like I said, expand and expound and be unique, be genuine, and just have a real fun conversation, because that's who they really want on campus. Someone who's going to add value, a student that is going to be diverse, get along with everyone, even though they know that you're young, inexperienced. But if you're a 3.8 and a 4.7 student, then you got a solid foundation, okay? So I would just recommend if you have questions or if you would like to receive a free consultation, You can text free consultation or free consult to 951-261-9799. Or you can respond on this YouTube page, free consultation. And the next video, like I said, will be about the hardest admission interview questions, part 3. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye-bye.